The show will go on for New Jersey's largest firework display, a sure sign that we are on the road to recovery. The Freedom and Fireworks event will light up the sky over Jersey City this weekend, and here to give us a scoop on the event is Jersey City Mayor Steven Fulop. So welcome back to the Pick 7 More News. Mayor Fulop, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's begin with the Jersey City fireworks show, canceled last year because, of course, the pandemic. So this is going to be bigger and better. What can people anticipate for this?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be bigger for the whole day. We used to have Pitbull or Snoop, major attractions, major concerts. We couldn't do that this year, but we are going to have Gucci fireworks, which is the biggest in the world. We're going to have multiple barges over the Hudson River and start shortly after 9 p.m. And it's going to be the biggest show in New Jersey for sure.
That's what I meant. When I said bigger and better, I meant the actual event in the sky, because you did have to still factor in, I guess, COVID, right? Which is why you're scaling it back just a bit. So there's also going to be other events, though, throughout the day, if I understand, a food festival as well?
Yeah, there's going to be food markets and kind of a festival atmosphere down there at the waterfront. So it's definitely worth checking out. And I think next year we'll be back with a big concert venue again and doing it bigger than we've ever done it before. But, you know, we had a short runway with the COVID restrictions constantly changing. So we made it work best we can. Yeah,
of course. You know, it's a work in progress, I think, for everybody. So with those COVID protocols in place, what can people expect if they are heading down there? Is there anything that they should know? Masks, no masks, so on?
Well, there's no mask. We're going to follow CDC guidelines. We're going to recommend people kind of just act as smartly as possible. We're going to have a lot of police presence down there to make sure that it's safe and secure, and that's about it. We're going to try to get back to normal as quickly as possible here in Jersey City, and this is part of it.
Yeah, so let me talk about COVID for a second as we talk about this big fireworks show. Jersey City has really fallen to record lows. Nearly 46% of residents vaccinated, but I'm sure you want that number higher, right? Everybody wants that 70% or above. How are you increasing those numbers?
Well, that number's been updated since, so we're over 50% now. Okay. But regardless, I mean, we're still out there moving around mobile vaccination sites, trying to kind of, you know, do like the small things to get people vaccinated that we've missed. But no, there's still education. There's still people that are apprehensive, and we've kind of hit a wall similar to kind of what New Jersey and the country's feeling overall, where people who didn't want to get vaccinated, at this point, they have access to it. They're just choosing not to. So we just try to educate people.
Right. It's now kind of hit this slog. But people are also concerned about the Delta variant, right? And that it's more transmissible specifically against the unvaccinated. So besides education, are you worried about Delta variant? Are you seeing it?
No, we haven't seen it yet here in any way that we've feel that we need to get people aware of it. But, you know, it's being covered obviously widespread. So it's just another opportunity for people to become educated and make sure that they're getting vaccinated. So it's going to be another motivation factor for people to get vaccinated. We're going to try to capitalize on that best we can.
And just to be clear, just those numbers in Jersey City, just so I'm accurate, I know I said nearly 46%, but it is actually just in almost 70%. So those are great numbers in Jersey City. Yeah. Let's talk about incentives to get people back to work. You know, I interviewed Governor Phil Murphy and also Congressman Josh Gottheimer about this idea to get people back into the office. Congressman Gottheimer pitching this idea of giving people $500 to physically go back to the office. Do you see that return to the office as a problem in Jersey City, and are you for that incentive?
I mean, we definitely see it as a problem. You know, look, what the pandemic has done and the unemployment benefits is they've created an environment where, you know, the minimum wage hasn't necessarily increased on the federal level or meaningfully on state levels, but there's kind of this artificial increase that needs to happen. Whereas if employers want people to come back, they need to compensate them. And I don't necessarily know if one-time $500 is going to change somebody's behavior. I think you need to have a long-term conversation about what those minimum wages and livable wages are overall. And the Biden administration has kind of created that opportunity for us to have that conversation, which I think is helpful and healthy overall to have.
And is there anything that the city could do to help increase those wages, or it really is a state-national conversation?
I mean, we're going to be increasing out. We were the first in the state to move to $15 a couple of years ago. We're going to be increasing that number again later this summer for all of our employees. And then we're going to continue to advocate at the state that even $15 isn't really a livable wage in New Jersey. So, you know, that announcement will probably come later next month with regards to what we're doing on the city level, but it'll go higher.
Understood. Jersey City Mayor Steven Fulop. Oh, by the way, there was this new study that came out. I don't know if you saw it or heard about it. And it was pretty serious, talking about how Raza was one of the top pizza places in the entire country. Now, do you agree?
100%. I mean, the New York Times said the best pizza in New York City is in Jersey City.
But you can't, who do I got to know to get into Raza? I mean, do I drop your name?
Just get online. Just get online. They'll help you out.
Jersey City Mayor Steven Fulop, always appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey,
next time, hopefully you're in person, and we'll be there for the fireworks. Hopefully it's bigger and better next year, too.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.